All right, so you own a meal prep business and you want to scale it to the magical $100,000 a month or at least $1 million a year. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact framework we've used and applied to over 600 different meal prep companies in North America to scale them from as low as a couple $1,000s a month, or from $10,000 a month, or even $50,000 a month to $100,000 repeatedly over and over again in pretty much every state in the United States and every province in Canada. Now, why should you listen to me? I'm the co-founder of Scale My Meal Prep. We've worked with, once again, 660 different accounts over the last 6 years, and we've helped them scale up from $5,000 a month all the way to $1 million a year or more. Now let's get into it. You want to do $1 million a year. What will it take? Let's break down the math. So your average order value, typically for a meal prep business, the average transaction size. This is when a customer swipes their credit card or gives you cash, how much they're spending each and every time. Typically on the low end, on average, we see it could be as low as $80 to as much as $100, $150, or even $200. Let's pick a conservative number. Let's say they're picking between 5 to 7 meals from you on every transaction or every week if you have a subscription. They're spending about $80. We get $1 million. We divide $1 million by 80. You're going to need about 12,500 transactions per year for you to do $1 million. Now, on average, how often does a customer come back to your business? If you're a small to mid-sized meal prep business, particularly if you're small, the only thing that you probably have going for you is the great quality of food. Everybody's probably told you your food's fantastic and customers come back over and over again, and it grows by word of mouth. So your customers on average are probably coming back a few times a month and probably dozens of times a year. But on average, let's pick something conservative, and let's say on average a customer comes back about once a month for a year. So let's say 12 transactions a year is your retention rate on average. So we get that number, 12,500, and we divide it by 12. So that's going to be about 1,083. You're going to need 1,083 customers, I believe, in 1 year for you to do $1 million. If they come back at least 12 times and they spend $80 on minimum per transaction. Now, 1,083 customers in a year, let's divide that by 12. We need about a little bit over 83, 86 customers every single month on autopilot. And this is where most people get stuck. How do you get 86 new customers every single month without a shadow of a doubt, or without having to do pop-ups, partnering up with gyms, doing flyers, or just relying on word of mouth? That can be extremely difficult. What you want to do, and the easiest way to do it, guys, is paid ads. It's social media ads. Now, before you go get to the races and start posting stuff on Instagram and Facebook and start boosting posts, 9 out of 10 times when you run ads, and most of you, or at least some of you, have probably tried paid ads before and it hasn't given you the result that you're looking for, it's because, in all honesty, folks on these platforms are just allergic to ads that look like ads. If you've got any kids or you see other people on social media, they're scrolling endlessly. Your battle cry is to get attention, keep that attention, and get them to click. And then once they click, actually get them to convert and become a customer. So how do we get them to stop scrolling? Is we go away from the herd. We don't do what everybody's doing, which is what they're doing is posting fitness influencers, and they're posting pictures of their meals. It's been said too many times. It's been done too many times, and it just doesn't work. It's like you're talking to the same people with the same message that they've seen so many times, and it's kind of just, they're blind to it, right? Instead, what you want to do is something we call a Trojan horse ad. An ad that doesn't even look like an ad. It's kind of disguised into something that's native to the platform. It's just people in their normal kitchens saying great things about your meals, all coupled together while still having the scientific process of a legendary ad, like having a great scroll stopper, having a really strong offer at the end, and getting them to click. So that's number one. You want to get a Trojan horse ad. And once you get a Trojan horse ad made and you get a lot of clicks coming through, step number two, this is the other pitfall that most people fall into, is they build a website. What you need instead is a 24/7 salesperson. And you're like, hey, Saad, how do I get a 24/7 salesperson? I'm the only person working in my business. Am I going to just end up getting more texts and calls? I mean, we duplicate you. into a landing page. We turn you into a 24/7 salesperson that works while you're sleeping, while you're cooking, or while you're doing grocery shopping, or while you're delivering, whatever you may be doing. This thing works. And what I mean by this is it needs to be super simple. It needs to be less than 3 steps for somebody to place an order. And number two, most importantly, it should not just be an order taker. Order taking does not work. It needs to sell them on your meals. Why are your meals the best? Why should they buy from you rather than another meal prep business? What is the outcome that they're looking to get, right? So if you're a healthy meal prep business, you should really be selling an outcome. If you're a cultural meal prep business, you should really be selling authentic home style taste that they cannot get from other places. And finally, if you're a specific diet meal prep like keto, paleo, or a carnivore diet, you should really be saying, hey, I'm this specific diet and this is the outcome that you're already looking for. I just make it super easy for you, right? Most meal prep businesses, you're in one of these 3 categories. 9 out of 10 times you have to be in one of these 3 categories, and you can pick and choose which one you want to be in. But these are the 3 categories that work, and your sales page needs to sell this. So once you get the click, once you get them onto the website and they become a customer, that's the hardest part. You know this better than anybody. The hardest part is just getting new people to find out that you exist, number one. And number two, once they know that you exist, getting them to try your meals. Because once they try your meals, it's game over. It's 10 times easier to get them to come back. That's how you get to $1 million a year. Now, depending on how well you do this, will determine something we call your cost per purchase. Now, let's get back into the economics of it. We've got an average order value of $80. $80 times 12 puts us right at around about, I believe, $960 for the year per customer. That's your customer lifetime value. By lifetime value, I mean for the 12 months, right? So we'll just keep it simple, 12-month lifetime value. Now, how much are we willing to give Facebook or Instagram to acquire this customer, right? At the end of the day, there's only 2 things that you can do to get a new customer. You can actually pay for it and have a system, or you can use energy to get that customer. Energy is not free either, right? If you're doing a pop-up or you're partnering up with gyms or you're doing flyers that are extremely cheap, but you still have to actually go ahead and do that pop-up. How many of those customers are you getting, and how many are really good quality customers that are going to stick around? So it's either energy, which really is still a cost and you can determine that cost for you, or number 2, like the method that I'm proposing here, is you use paid ads, because if you get it right one time, you can just funnel money into the paid ads and boom, you get more money out. So for a customer that spends $960 with us for the year, we could be happy spending even $20, $50, or even $100 to acquire that customer. The only thing is, on their first transaction, they only spend $80. And with our agency, we like to be profitable right from day one. So we want to spend less than 50% to acquire that customer. So $40 or less per acquisition. Now, if you're running ads and you're not tracking this, really, you're running ads without a guide. So that's the only thing that matters, is your cost per purchase. And depending on how good your ad is and how good your 24/7 salesperson is or landing page will determine your cost per purchase. On average at our agency, we get cost per purchases, depending on the meal prep business, from as low as $20 to as much as $40 or $50 cost per purchase, which is extremely profitable, which is why as an agency, we've picked meal prep as our niche, and we only work with meal prep businesses to scale up. So if that's you and you're at $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $50,000 a month in meal prep sales, and you want to get to that $1 million a year over the next 12 months or less or more, click on the link below, book a free demo with us, 60 minutes, and we'll show you exactly how we've taken 660 companies and counting, meal prep businesses specifically, all over the United States and Canada, to $1 million or more a year, or some that were even just doing a couple $1,000s a month, and how we took them to their first 10,000 and 20,000 and 30,000, all the way to that magical $100,000 a month or more that we all want to get to. Click that link below, 60 minutes. We give you a free demo and we'll give you an action plan that you can, number 1, apply yourself fully and bring in-house, or number 2, if you absolutely love it, we'll propose an offer and we'll see if you want to work with us. Apply below and we'll see you on that call, and thanks for watching.